Donating to charity has long been a way for investors to help those less fortunate while helping themselves by taking advantage of whatever tax breaks may be available. Up next, Robin looks at a company that focuses on education as a means of giving back and gaining.
The world is full of people that need help, but you don't need to travel halfway across the continent to extend an olive branch. For the most part, all you need to do is walk down the street to see the enormous need right here in our own backyard.
All you have to do is pick up a paper. It's every day. We get more calls every day, more organizations desperately in need of stuff that they can't acquire that our organization does get. People unemployed, jobs downsizing. It's every day, and it's just getting greater. That's the sad part of this story.
Gaining meaningful employment takes knowledge and the basic skills that you and I might take for granted, like how to type and use the internet. But for some, it could mean the difference between employment and welfare.
The economic benefits are immeasurable. E-learning as a medium is probably the fastest and easiest way for someone to learn basic computer skills.
They can concentrate on what is their immediate problem is, how do I feed my family? How do I educate myself? Because if you've got those two problems, the main concern you have is feeding your family, and when you know there's an organization out there that can offer you free training, that's one less problem on your plate, so you can learn.
A Toronto-based company is working to educate those less fortunate by helping vulnerable Canadians obtain the skills they need while helping those that give with a reduction on their taxes.
In our program, you can acquire courseware which, if you choose to donate, you will not have paid anything for it, but you're entitled under the law for a tax receipt equal to its full fair market value. In other words, what it's worth, even though you yourself haven't paid anything for it. And the tax credit that you're entitled to is, depending upon your province, roughly half the fair market value.
This is how the program works. Charities donate essential computer software to people in communities across the country. Users have free, unlimited access to computer training on courseware like Microsoft Office, Windows, and PowerPoint. The economy gets a burst of activity once users find employment, and the donor gets a tax credit.
You may receive a tax credit for the donation, totaling up to 75% of your net income. You may also carry forward unclaimed charitable donations for up to 5 years following the year you donate. An example of this? Let's say you donate $16,000 in total. An in-kind gift, like the courseware, at fair market value of $12,000 and a cash donation of $4,000. A tax credit of 46% less the total cash donation would mean that you would take a cash flow advantage of $3,426 for 85%.
This is a very good tax strategy move, particularly if you go into a program like Global that provides for a cash flow advantage. And what I mean by a cash flow advantage is that the value of the tax credits is greater than the amount of money that you donate to charity. So therefore you have money in your pocket.
The economic impact of this type of giving is huge, says Michael Orzekovich, formerly Deputy Finance Minister of Social Services and Community Health in Alberta. He says it's this kind of help that will kickstart communities across the country.
It's huge. The kind of courseware that the program offers is directed entirely at those people who are trying to find employment. And I was in charge of the largest welfare system west of Ontario for 3 years, and we weren't able to do the kind of thing that this program offers to welfare recipients or to people who are still looking for jobs that may not necessarily be on welfare and who might be headed that way if they wait too much longer.
Carol French, Executive Director at the Canadian Charity Association, says she sees firsthand how this type of program impacts real people and makes life-altering differences. Working on the front lines, Carol has helped those in jail and even people with disabilities learn the essential tools, not only improving their lives, but their children and communities as well. James Dunstan is just one of many Canadians that has benefited from this program. He spends close to 6 hours a week at this Toronto location, working on his resume and searching online for a new job.
Nowadays, there's a lot of jobs that require computer skills. So it helps me to be prepared when I go back into the job, into the work field. I'll have more knowledge about using computers. Gives me more confidence in myself to use computers.
There are specific learning centers, but there's also churches and various small groups and charities using the courses. They may have 1 or 2 computers, but they provide the courses for free to really anyone who needs them.
Qualified individuals may become a beneficiary of the Global Learning Trust and receive valuable education courseware for no cost, and then choose to donate it at fair market value to local charities without incurring any capital gains and receive a tax credit from the government.
Like in any charitable endeavor, first and foremost, it's doing good and helping others. But in doing our program, if they participate in the way that we recommend, they will also be able to get a tremendous cash flow advantage in addition to doing good. And depending upon the province that they are in and how they choose to voluntarily participate, that cash flow can be very substantial and can be anywhere from 3/4 to double the amount of cash they're actually donating.
The Millennium Charitable Foundation is authorized to give to all charitable institutions in Canada, and its current campaign, Bridging the Digital Divide, is focused on finding and choosing those training and educational organizations that both deserve and benefit from receiving assistance training with educational software.
It's an important program because it gets people working, and obviously if you get people working, it's very good for the economy and good for people in general. They feel better about themselves, and you get the employment levels up, and there's less stress on other things in the community, and they can contribute back.
To find out how you can make a donation, please contact Global Learning Group at 905-947-4567 or online at www.glgi.ca.